Welcome back to part 2 of the NFL Week 8 analysis. Woo-wee! I like making these videos, man. It's just real. It brings something to my soul just to talk about sports with you all, the fans, man. Let's get into it. Now we stopped with the Titans and the Lions, obviously, and we need to move on to another game. The Falcons played the Buccaneers, and honestly, the Buccaneers didn't win. They got 2 wide receivers hurt, so who thought that they would? The Falcons are now 5-3. They beat them 31-26. The Buccaneers are 500 on the year. Kirk Cousins went 23 for 29, 276 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had a 4 chicken McNugget. Honestly, he went to town on them. On them Bucks. Bijan Robinson went 13 for 63. Alager went 12 for 33. Ray McLeod went 1 for 17. Kyle Pitts had 4 for 91, 2 touchdowns. That's what we'd like to see from him. I expected him to have a bust-out career, a bust-out opening career couple of seasons. But, man, he's pretty much like I feel like the tight end position doesn't get enough recognition unless you're like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews when he was, not having those knee problems and getting hurt and stuff like that. George Kittle, like I said. But Darnell Mooney went 4 for 86 and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson had a touchdown as well. So honestly, man, the Falcon boys, man, they ain't come to play. Baker Mayfield went 37 for 50, so he had a great game. Besides from the interceptions, 2 interceptions, he had 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. Bucky Irvin went 9 for 44. Rasheed White went 6 for 29. So they didn't have a great running game. They didn't. Had absolutely terrible. But Baker Mayfield did what he could with what he had. Cade Otton went 9 for 81, 2 touchdowns. Raheem Jarrett went 3 for 58. So he spread the ball like he was supposed to. Just can't be overpowered by the Falcons, man. They just did what they were supposed to do, man. I mean, there's not really much more to say. 5 minutes difference in time of possession, according to the Buccaneers. 24 forced downs for the Buccaneers, 20 for the Falcons. I feel like if Mike Evans was in here, Chris Godwin was in here, it would probably been a different game, a different ball game, because they were on a roll. They were bad. Praise go up to them, like I said. The Saints and the Chargers played, and obviously the Saints are abysmal right now, especially with Derek Carr being hurt. Spencer Rattler is still the number 1 QB at the moment, but the Chargers did win 26-8. Chargers are now 4-3. Saints are now 2-6. Spencer Rattler went 12 for 24, 156 yards. That's all he could do. Alvin Kamara helped a little bit, 10 for 67. Taysom Hill also helped 20 yards on the ground. Chris Olave had 8 for 107 yards, so he did get the ball, but Alvin Kamara did have some receptions within this game, 6 for 55. So the Saints aren't playing great by no means. They're doing better than the Panthers, though. I will say that. At least they're scoring points. Justin Herbert went 20 for 32, 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. And honestly, I think Justin Herbert is very underrated. Honestly, he's probably at least top 8 in quarterback. He's top 10 for sure. For sure. I'm taking Justin Herbert over Kyler Murray. I'm taking Justin Herbert over Dak Prescott. And plenty of other quarterbacks too. But, you can do what you can do. J.K. Dobbins went 17 carries for 57 and a touchdown. Justin Herbert had 49 scramble yards. Ladd McConkey was the leading receiver, 6 for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really good for him. I like to see him progress and continue to have a good career, have an opening season because he is a rookie. And honestly, he might be their number 1 wide receiver. Because they really don't have wide receivers like that. But yes, I would just like to say Chargers beat the Saints 26-8. Moving on. The Bills played the Seahawks and they beat the snot out of them. I have never in my entire life seen such an up and down team according to the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith is probably one of the best backup QBs ever created, and now it's his time to shine. 4-4 ain't getting the job done, Geno. He ain't getting the job done, Geno. Josh Allen is becoming prominent. 6 for 2 for the Bills, 6-2 for the Bills, versus 4-4 is crazy. But Josh Allen went 24 for 34, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did have an interception. James Cook went 17 for 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Khalil Shakir went 9 for 107. Keon Coleman went 5 for 70 and a touchdown. Dawson Knox went 4 for 31. So he spread the ball around like he was supposed to. The Seahawks Geno went 21 for 29, 212 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. 0 touchdowns and 1 interception. And honestly, where's your run game? Geno Smith was the leading rusher in this game, handing the ball off only 12 times. Not even 50 yards. Not even 40 yards. Trash! I ain't never. Jackson Smith and Jigba went 16 for 69. I'm guessing DK Metcalf is hurt because I don't see any numbers on here. Tyler Lockett, probably one of the oldest wide receivers in the NFL, went 1 for 9. Honestly, that Bills defense probably put the work on him. But, man, moving on. We're moving on, because we're getting to this game that I really want to talk about, man. Or should I wait to the end? I ain't gonna wait to the end, man. Boy, Jaden Daniels is him. First of all, it wasn't just him throwing the ball to complete that Hail Mary, but thank you to that cornerback from Chicago for tipping it. For tipping it to the Commanders, man. Dude was just back there by himself, like Men in Black, put his arms crossed, and caught the touchdown. Caught that dog, man. Man, Caleb Williams must have been mad, boy. The Commanders beat the Chicago Bears 18-15. The Commanders are 6-2, probably the best record we've seen them have in many, many, many years. The Chicago Bears probably one of the best records we've seen them have in many, many, many years as well. 4-3 is crazy work. Caleb Williams went 10 for 24. Trash. Not even 50%. 131 yards. That Commanders defense was putting that beating on them. Giving that belt to butt. They was spanking them. They was whooping him like he done stole some chocolate. They was stealing some chocolate. The Commanders was whooping them. DeAndre Swift went 18 for 129 yards and a touchdown. Caleb Williams had 41 scramble yards. Rome Odunze had something out of it and went 13. Rome Odunze also had 41 yards on receptions. Keenan Allen also had 2 for 39, man. DJ Moore only had 2 for 27. Caleb Williams, man, you probably got some of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now. You're not doing nothing with them. Man, only scoring 15 points with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze, probably one of the best wide receivers to come out of the NFL draft, is trash. Jaden Daniels, man, the Commanders offense, he went 21 for 38, 326 yards and a touchdown, boy. He about tripled your numbers, Caleb Williams. How you gonna let him do that to you? How you gonna let them do that to you? Dang, man. Brian Robinson Jr. went 16 for 65. Jaden Daniels had 52 scramble yards. And I'm going to just address this right now, man. Somebody told me that Bo Nix was going to be a rookie of the year. You know what Bo Nix's record is right now? Let's put Denver, because he's been starting for Denver. Denver Broncos. You know what the Denver Broncos are right now? I'll just let you guess. They're 5-3. Right now. But do you know who they have to play? The Ravens, the Chiefs, the Falcons, the Raiders, the Browns, the Colts, the Chargers, the Chiefs again, and the Bengals. Who? They lose in the next 5 at least. The next 5 at least. That's crazy work, man. Crazy. Austin Eckler went 7 for 52. So honestly, this Commanders running game was atrocious. They were knocking every ball loose. According to the Bears defense, they was killing them, man. Scary Terry went 5 for 125 yards. Zach Ertz went 7 for 77, 777. Perfection. Noah Brown went 3 for 73. John Bates went 1 for 20. Brian Robinson Jr. went 1 for 11. Oh my goodness. I like what I saw. That Hail Mary, man. I mean, you can't reenact it any better than that. Like I said, props, man, to that cornerback that was talking junk, thinking that they won the game, man. He thought they won the game. And that just goes to show, man, you got to be humble. You got to have humility, man, because things would change in the snap of a finger. In half a second when that ball was snapped and he was talking to the fans, he runs over, lackadaisical, jumps up, tips the ball with his hand, his palm up in the air, and tipped it. Noah Brown for the touchdown, man. That's how fast things can change. It's crazy, man. That's why you got to take everything humbly, man, wholeheartedly, because you never know what can happen. Moving on, man, because that was a great game. Chiefs beat the Raiders 27-20, and the Chiefs are the last team in the NFL undefeated, so everybody's out for them. And I know that. Everybody's out for them. Chiefs, if you're reading this, Andy Reid, if you're watching this, Patrick Mahomes, if you're watching this, they out for you. You got DeAndre Hopkins, they're out for you. Excuse me, I'm burping really bad right now. Patrick Mahomes went 27 for 38, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Probably one of the most complete games he's played up to this point, because at that point he had more interceptions than touchdowns. Kareem Hunt has finally calmed down. He went 21 for 59 and a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes had 17 scramble yards. His biggest receiver was Travis Kelce, 10 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Worthy had 4 for 37 and a touchdown. Those are 2 leading wide receivers for the Chiefs. Honestly, they relatively beat them by 14, but they did score another touchdown. But the Raiders are shell of themselves. They don't have a great quarterback. They don't have great receiving core. They don't have great running backs. Their defense is subpar because obviously they have Max Crosby, and they had Christian Wilkins, if I'm not mistaken, and they have some other players. Their defense isn't bad by no means, but man, the Chiefs, man, they own the Las Vegas Raiders, man. They own them. Gardner Minshew went 24 for 30, 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. Honestly, that's the best I've seen him play. Just based off of completions and the yards and the touchdowns. Alexander Madison went 14 for 15. When your carries and your yards are almost similar, you need to be benched. Brock Bowers is having a somewhat unbelievable year as a wide receiver, tight end, whatever you want to call him. 5 for 58. Jacoby Myers went 6 for 52. So Gardner Minshew did spread the ball around, and he was lighting the Chiefs defense up. He was. Having 24 out of 30 complete, he was lighting them up. Moving on. Honestly, I'm not even going to talk about this game. The Broncos beat the Panthers 28-14. We don't even need to talk about it, honestly, because we expected it. The Cowboys lost to the 49ers. Here we go again with the losing season. The Cowboys are now 3-4. The San Francisco 49ers are 4-4. And honestly, the 49ers are a shell of themselves. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey. Who else? They're all hurt. Brock Purdy literally has nobody, and he beat a pretty much almost healthy Cowboys team. Micah Parsons is definitely still feeling the impacts of that sprained ankle. DeMarcus Lawrence is still not what he once was with the Cowboys, man. Dak Prescott went 25 for 38, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And them interceptions, boy, be biting you right in the butt. They be taking that muscle meat out, boy. They be taking that booty cheek. They take it out, boy. Ezekiel Elliott is still trash. I don't care if he's making $1 million, $100,000, or $1. He is still trash. Dalvin Cook went 6 for 12. Okay, CeeDee Lamb had a great game. 13 receptions for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Honestly, CD, it's about time for you to leave. It's time for you to leave. I don't care who. You're not winning with the Cowboys. You're not winning with them. Nope. I mean, if Brock Purdy can beat you with basically nobody. They ran on them the entire game. Isaac Grindo went 14 for 85. Brock Purdy went 56 yards carrying the ball. And you can't stop that? Oh my goodness. George Kittle did have an unbelievable game there. 6 receptions for 128 yards. Crazy work. Yards after carry is crazy work. Deebo Samuel obviously is still hurt, but he went 4 for 71. You're not telling me that he's healthy. You're not telling me. You're not telling me because he went out. But all in all, the San Francisco 49ers did win this game 30-24. And Dak Prescott and saying, here we go, is no longer in effect. Because 3-4 as of right now is trash. You're under 500. To finish this video, the New York Giants played the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin are now 6-2. The New York Giants are 2-6. And just to run through some quick stats, honestly, Darius Slayton was the best player, or the second best actually. 4 receptions for 108 yards. Malik Neighbors went 7 for 71. So they had a great game. Daniel Jones was passing the ball to them, was 264 yards, but he had no touchdowns. Tyrone Tracy Jr., if I'm not mistaken, that boy can ball. I'm sorry. He went 20 for 145 piece and a touchdown. And the way that he was running on that defense was crazy. But T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt are pretty much the similar player because, man, actually I would say T.J. Watt is 1,000% better than J.J. Watt. That man is scary. That man is scary. When you watch him in action, going around that tackle, you're like, he ain't going to go around. He goes around him that quick. That quick. The tackle doesn't even have time to step back, and he gets blown. I've never seen anything like it. He hit Daniel Jones from the ball, called game. Steelers, Russell Wilson was playing out of his mind, 20 for 28, 278 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris was bulldozing people, and I'm not talking about construction. I'm not talking about demolition either. He went 19 for 114 yards, and that'll get the job done. George Pickens, the gangbanger himself, went 4 for 74. Van Jefferson went 4 for 62. Calvin Austin went 3 for 54. So all in all, the Steelers beat the Giants, and the Giants are now 2-6. Ooh, there's a lot of 2-6 teams. God, dog. And just to be reminded, the Giants did pay Daniel Jones before they paid Saquon Barkley. And with that, that's a wrap for this week's NFL analysis. This is week number 8. This is also part 2. Go watch part 1 if you haven't already. But it's your boy K-Stang, K-Stang Productions, and I am out.